Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at KoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a bow. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
When you look at Nebraska baseball, I mean, a 40-win season, best pitching in the Big Ten, above average offense for the Big Ten. You go to regionals, far and away the best pitching staff, but a good half a run below even the third worst offense in that regional. When you look at Nebraska baseball, is that a program that needs to improve the pitching first or the lineup first to be able to make more of a dent in the postseason?
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll go for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome into the happy hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. I am Rico, running solo for a bit here on the happy hour. Shout out to our sponsor, Empire Fence and Netting, for everything that they do. I would really appreciate if you guys would keep me company today. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Sartor Heyman text line, and also on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961, as we are all across the state. Please keep me company as Austin Orman is on his way down to Haymarket Park to set up for BP with DP, the Salt Dogs. You guys can check out some of our talent down there, swinging the bat, maybe a little appearance by Chancellor Brewington potentially. I think Eric Strickland might make his way down there. Maybe he'll try to hit a home run for the first time down there at Haymarket Park. He's gotten close many a time. He's gotten close. DP, I don't think, is going to swing the bat. He might, step in there a little bit and see what he can do. He ain't supposed to, but he probably going to do it anyways. You know how he is. He's still young at heart. He's still athletic. He could still get it done. I don't know if his body would allow him to do it, but he'll try it. Like I said, this is the happy hour. I'm Rico running solo for a little bit. Please do keep me company as we go on for a little bit here to talk about some things. Hello, everybody. Somebody would like to take their kids to the game. How can we swing that? Well, we have I believe, still over there, 4 tickets to tonight's Salt Dogs game. I will ask a question here shortly. I might wait for Austin to get on the air, have a question, a little trivia question. If you can answer that question, we will get you those tickets, unnamed texter, and you can take your kids to the Salt Dogs game. I mean, maybe I end up giving you the tickets anyways. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But first up, Nebraska football adds to their quarterback room with the addition of Jalen Gramstad from Northwestern College. If you were listening to the drive earlier, we made some startling discoveries of Jalen Gramstad, the incoming junior quarterback, NAIA Player of the Year last year with Northwestern College, threw for over 3,000 yards and about 30-plus touchdowns, only 9 interceptions on the year for him there. And also, oh, by the way, he ran for 700-plus yards and a couple touchdowns as well. Kid's athletic. He's only 6 foot, about 180 is what they have him listed at, but athletic as all get out if the stats are to be believed, which, I mean, they are stats, and we'll talk about stats not being believed with a little bit of Michael Jordan stuff going on around the NBA and around the Twitter sphere. We'll talk about that later when Austin joins me. But if the stats are to be believed, Jalen Gramstad, a very athletic quarterback at 6 foot, 190, joining Nebraska's quarterback room, adding experience, much needed experience to that quarterback room that currently has a few walk-ons, a redshirt junior in Heinrich Harburg, who was the starter for most of, if not all, 90% of last year's team, as they started off with Jeff Sims at the quarterback. And in the Colorado game, when he hurt his ankle, Heinrich Harburg stepped in and was the starter for the rest of the season. But you have Heinrich Harburg, you have some walk-ons, and then you have 2 true freshmen in the presumed starter in Dylan Raiola, and then the other true freshman who signed with Nebraska after being committed to Missouri, Daniel Kalin, the Bellevue West product. T-Birds fly together, so you know what's up there. 2 freshmen, a redshirt junior, some walk-ons. The quarterback room wasn't in the ideal position, and I'm not sure this does add some much-needed depth, but I'm not sure this gives me, at least, I could be wrong, you guys might have a different thought on this, gives me the much-needed confidence in that quarterback room being all shored up. Because as we know in college football, injuries happen. Hopefully they don't, bite Nebraska in the butt as they have multiple years before, but they do happen. People are going to miss games from time to time. And, some players might not play as good as you believe that they are going to play. Again, hopefully that doesn't happen. But with 2 freshmen and a redshirt junior who last year showed everything that he could do, including running the ball at a very high clip, leading the team in rushing yards, but passing was a little suspect from time to time. He has improved in his passing motion. His throwing has improved. As you saw in the spring game, it looks much better there with Heinrich Harburg's arm. But again, for what this offense wants to be, for what this team wants to do with this offense, it probably still might not have been up to snuff to lead this offense on the way that they want it to be. So adding a player like Jalen Gramstad out of Northwestern College, throwing for 3,000 plus yards, running for 700 plus yards, although he is on the smaller end of things as a quarterback, especially in a very physical Big Ten, you gotta feel pretty decent about the quarterback room now. I don't know who he surpasses or where he sits currently on the depth chart without him having been in practice and without, obviously I haven't seen practice here nor there, but without having seen him in practice with the rest of the team and what he can do and how he places the ball and how quickly he understands the offense, you still got to believe, although I am, I said it last week and I'll continue to say it until the head coach and the coaching staff gives the all green and says that Raiola is the starter. As soon as they say he's the presumed starter right now, right? He's the 5-star, one of the best quarterbacks in the class last year, if not the best quarterback in the class last year. He's the presumed starter. I'm not wrong about that. But when it comes to actually naming the starter, I'm not going to sit here and say he is the starter until the coaching staff tells me he is the starter. Things could change. He could, again, hope it doesn't happen. He could not grasp the offense to the degree that the coaching staff wants him to grasp the offense. It just, his practice habits might not be, and again, this is not me saying that this is happening. Okay. So don't take me out of context here. His practice habits might not be up to snuff when they get closer to naming the starter, when they get closer to the season. I don't know. But he's the presumed starter, Dylan Raiola is, until they name their starter. But who does Gramstad supplant? Does he immediately go ahead of Daniel Kalen and take that presumed third spot? If you're going to say that Kalen is going to redshirt now with Gramstad joining the staff or joining the quarterback room, does he jump up to the immediate backup with his ability to sling the rock and his ability to run? Yes, he's not as big as Heinrich Haarberg is, but at least statistically, a better thrower than Heinrich Haarberg. Athletically, he might be there speed-wise and foot speed, being able to avoid tackles and whatnot. Again, not as big, so he wouldn't be taking the same hits. He wouldn't be running as physical. You wouldn't be running him between the tackles on a quarterback draw, but his skill set might be well suited for the offensive scheme that they're trying to run. So would he go up to second? Would he be the backup? I mean, if things don't go well with Raiola in practices leading up to the first game, does Gramstad take that starter position? I'm not saying he will. These are just things you have to think about when you do sign a experienced quarterback in the postgraduate camp that Nebraska was hosting. These are things that have happened. Well, not things that have happened, but things that could happen. So I'm looking forward to that. I really think that it's a good signing in terms of just adding depth. I don't think that he'll supplant Raiola as the presumed starter going into day one, going into game one. But I do believe when it's all said and done, that when the depth chart comes out, that Gramstad will more likely than not, again, to me, be in that backup quarterback spot. Unnamed texter says he should fit that room well, and I bet the others embrace the opportunity to work together because they need to work together to make it through this season. Trials will come. Be ready. You're totally right. You're totally right. It's going to be a tough season, especially, look, you're going to get everybody's best shot because Nebraska has been on the tip of the tongues of many a media member nationally with the signing of Raiola, with the second year of Matt Rulin, what he's done in his second years throughout his coaching career in the collegiate levels. Nebraska's been on the tip of the tongue of many a national talking head, many a national writer. And if that is to be believed or thought of by any of the teams that Nebraska is facing, you were obviously going to get their best shot regardless because you're Nebraska, right? But now it's going to be one of those things where the rest of the Big Ten, not the Big Ten heavyweights like the Ohio State, the Michigan, the Penn State, although you do have to face Ohio State, they were going to, take you seriously, quote unquote, regardless. But now the Illinois, Purdue, Northwestern, Wisconsin, the Iowa, these teams that, maybe not the first couple, but these teams that have been neck and neck, even ahead of Nebraska for years, hearing Nebraska being talked about the way that the Huskers are being talked about, maybe might ruffle some feathers, right? Maybe Wisconsin is looking to send a message saying, hey, we've got our coach in his second year, right? Yeah, we've got our coach in his second year with this new offensive scheme. We haven't lost to Nebraska in X amount of years. We're still the talk of the Big Ten West, even though Big Ten West doesn't exist and they're just taking the two best, whatever. Iowa. I believe they're gonna come into the season preseason ranked top 25, right? They're not gonna take this Lion down. They're not gonna take this Nebraska slander Lion down. They're gonna be coming at Nebraska with everything they have. So, it's gonna be really interesting to see how this season unfolds. Because now with another experienced quarterback in the room, it allows me at least, another deep breath in case anything happens. Not saying I didn't have faith in Heinrich Haarberg or Daniel Kalen or Raiola for that matter, but in case something happens, now adding the NAIA, and I understand it's a lower level, but adding the NAIA Player of the Year with 3,000 plus passing yards, 30 plus touchdowns passing, 700 plus rushing yards, and I believe 8 touchdowns rushing. I don't know. Makes me feel pretty good about that quarterback room. Not ecstatic, but it makes me feel pretty good about that quarterback room, adding a talent of Jalen Gramstad. So that's going to do it for this first segment here on the Happy Hour. When we come back, if Austin has joined me, we'll talk a little bit about JJ Reddick. If Austin hasn't joined me, we'll talk a little bit about JJ Reddick, because I want to get into that. If you were listening to the Captain Show, me and Vershawn going back and forth about JJ not having the coaching experience and what it means, why the Lakers would hire him, and our thoughts on how the season might unfold out in LA, out in the city of Angels, with potentially LeBron James. Still hasn't signed that extension, still a free agent, quote unquote, looking for his place to sign. But now with his podcast mate getting hired as the head coach, you assume he'll be going back there. But still, some dominoes left to fall. We'll see what happens. When we come back to the Happy Hour, a little bit of NBA talk. You listen to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies. It will be hot. It's an afternoon high around 93. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy, with a low around 76. And tomorrow, a slight chance of storms in the afternoon, otherwise mainly sunny, with the high around 93. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucket for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour.
Hola.
With Nick Sainert.
¿Tú eres un bueno worker?
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Sí, yo muy bueno worker.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You speak English? Yes, I'm really good at English. Okay, good. Me too. Get in the car.
Welcome back. Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket. I'm joined by the boss man, DP, hopping in the studio. DP, how you doing, sir?
I'm a helper.
I appreciate you.
I'm a helper. There's no point of you carrying the burden by yourself.
I go solo every once in a while.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm very good at it, but I can do it.
No, there's no need. We have people here. Like we have people around.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Austin Orman is joining us from Haymarket Park, I believe, if he got the Comrex set up. Hi, Austin.
How we doing, fellas?
What's going on? Get it. He got hooked.
He did.
Up.
Look at that. He quick
My
worker.
first time setting up like a big boy. Look at me.
Look at
they grow
you.
up so fast.
Proud of you.
Look at him breaking the myth that it's difficult to do.
Look at you.
What are your teammates gonna think?
Yeah, as long as they're proud of me, I just want them to respect me. They don't have to love me, don't have to like me. Just respect me for getting the job done. That's all I ask.
Austin, big dog on campus. Well, since I got both of you here, I don't know if either one of you listened to the captain show earlier, but me and VJ kind of got into the heated discussion for about 3 segments.
VJ, heated discussion? No.
I know, crazy. You never would have thought of that, huh? JJ Reddick, hired as the head coach on a 4-year deal with the LA Lakers. I said that I think he's a great basketball mind, and I hope it works, but I don't think it's going to work right away, at least, with the Lakers. I think that what Pelinka and them did seem they were going out, they were setting out their feelers, looking at other coaches and whatnot, and you heard rumors about other coaches getting the job, and it just wasn't working out. And then JJ Redick, his name was always kind of there, and then as of yesterday, but is offered the job, accepts it, and is now going to be the head coach for the LA Lakers. And I wanted your guys' thoughts on it because I know me and Austin disagree. I don't know DP's thoughts on it though.
Well, I'll let Austin go first. Austin, go.
First of all, JJ Redick he attended and graduated from Duke University, so he is just automatically bound to be successful at everything he tries his hand at. There's not a better school with a 4 for 40 mentality than that in Durham, North Carolina. That being said, I think JJ is a little bit of a sicko to his core, right? He must just love the NBA and love basketball that much to hop into this coaching situation. It's the Lakers. It's hard to turn down. It's hard to say no, but Dan Hurley did it. And Dan Hurley is a more established coach than JJ Redick is. Coach Mike Krzyzewski turned down the Lakers, right? Bigger coaching names than JJ Redick have told the Lakers no before, but JJ said yes. we've seen successful examples of, players, former players making the transition from booth to on court. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm not optimistic for JJ Reddick achieving Lakers levels of success as in championship or bust in the current situation, especially not in the first 4 years of the deal that he signed. There hasn't been a Lakers coach that's lasted more than 3 seasons since Phil Jackson left, and that was in the early 2010s. So the odds are against him, but I think that JJ Reddick, having played as long as he did, having built as many relationships as he has, and of course with the Duke education and the Coach K stamp of approval, I think if the Lakers pick a lane and commit to a rebuild or commit to spending big in free agency, JJ Reddick can be successful enough. But I don't think JJ Reddick has enough force of personality and clearly not enough experience as a coach, a manager of men in a locker room in that position to have the force of personality willing to, and able to set the direction of that franchise on his own.
I kind of lean in the sense that being a fan, like being a fan, like I don't have to be an expert on this.
No,
like I can be a fan.
Yeah.
And as a fan, as a fan, so for everybody to get all fired up about what I'm about to say, but as a fan of the NBA and a fan of drama, I'm rooting for chaos. Like I'm rooting hard for chaos.
I'm thinking there's going to be chaos.
Like,
I'm not even rooting for it. I just think it's going to happen.
Well, because one, there's some misbelief that he's popular.
He went to Duke. He's not popular.
Well, that's the kind of the thing, right? That
we all know. If you go to Duke, you're not popular.
Like
people don't like you.
I mean, Grant Hill's the only exception to the rule, and he had to be Grant Hill to beat that. Like there's a
Austin. Like, you're right.
So here's the thing. But the other side of it is that he is so not what they've had that it's probably going to work. Like he's so not the typical NBA leadership that he will just stay out of the way enough for basketball players to play.
Like what people thought Eric Spoelstra did with the Heatles.
Yeah. Just let's not mess it up. Like, just don't mess it up.
Just go play ball.
Like, again, we're talking about you've got Davis, you've got LeBron, you've got pieces. Reeves is there, everybody's fan favorite, which is a whole other thing that why I root
Shout
for
out
chaos.
to Austin Reeves.
Right, like I root for chaos in full. But I'm merely here for JJ Reddick versus the LA media.
He's going to tear him apart.
But can he?
He's going to try.
Which is the chaos
and
I need.
I think he will to a certain degree.
I can't wait.
Until they go on a 10-game losing streak.
No, I only need 3 games. I need a 3-game losing streak so that JJ just tantrums out.
Magic Johnson didn't even make it through a quarter of the season with the Lakers.
Like, it's just to tantrum out and just to go have people there in Los Angeles who really and truly profess to knowing more basketball than Pat Riley and Phil Jackson combined.
Geniuses.
Right? That they're going to come into a presser and ask JJ Reddick a question, a basic fruit, just layup type question, right? They're going to lob it to him, and JJ's going to lose it because he's going to tell, how dare you ask me a question about basketball? Me and my Duke IQ and my NBA acumen, there's zero chance that you could possibly fathom the greatness of the mind of JJ Reddick. The nerve of you. Banish him. And that's and then I will cheer and applaud.
I love listening to JJ talk ball. Like I like listening to it. It makes me feel like I kind of know basketball at a higher degree sometimes. Sometimes it makes me feel stupid because I'm like, oh, that seems super easy. Why didn't I understand that? But this was kind of the argument that I had. I understand he played in the league for a long time. I understand that has a very large basketball IQ. I get all that. But it's the zero, not head coaching experience, coaching experience in the way of being able, as you said, Austin, to lead men and able to kind of garner the garner the respect of the locker room and make sure that all the eyes are on him and everybody's listening to him when he talks, it's going to be interesting because his first coaching job is a head coach of a professional team in one of the, if not the largest market in the United States, with one of the best, if not the second best player of all time, who he does a podcast with on the roster.
No conflict of interest. No,
never. Of course not. I would point people back to the conversation that DP and J had on Old School yesterday, wherever it is you get your podcast. They went in depth with that quite a bit. And it's the fact that the Lakers are his first head coaching job makes sense, but also doesn't at the same time. It's a weird, unique situation that the JJ Reddick finds himself in. I'm curious to see just how popular or unpopular JJ Reddick is, because you have to remember that he started from about the base of lowest, not really popularity, right? People have known his name for a while. College basketball fans in general have known his name for a while, but it's not always, been good press or positive interactions with him. So maybe JJ Reddick has grown out of it since 2004 when he was at Duke. I mean, he said as a freshman and a sophomore when he first burst onto the scene, he really struggled with it, with the negative attention and how to deal with it. I would like to think JJ Reddick has grown since then. You can't just translate, grown up on a podcast to grown up in a locker room, though, because he's played against a fair enough number of guys that are still in the league. He's played with and against them, for that matter. The Young Bucks will probably have an image of their head of who JJ Reddick is. They'll see him on TV. They'll, hear his podcast, whatever, but they'll hear stories from back in the day. And that'll be their first impression of him in that locker room. And even how does he handle other teams, right? When they want to start something with him and they call him out. I would like to think JJ Reddick has grown, in a professionalism since, since he left Duke and struggled with, the Maryland crowds giving him crap, and obviously Carolina. But this is the biggest test, right? It's one thing to live in LA and do media. It's another thing to do LA media, like he's going to find out.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming for him. And here's the other part. JJ Reddick built his professional basketball career on being selfish in the best way possible. That he would set aside himself as far as meals, as far as rest. When it was time for him to sleep, he just shut down and said, screw it. I'm not, you can't reach me. I need to reboot, turn everything off and do that. That doesn't work in Los Angeles as the head coach.
No.
That doesn't work. And there is a recent enough group of players who played against him, who know him in a different kind of way than coaches know players. And so I think that the media folks, and again, it's Los Angeles, and yes, he spent time there with the Clippers.
Different.
Not the same. Not the same. And
also,
there's going to be that whole spectrum of what his power level is going to be. His ability to control, speak out, say what he wants, say what he thinks, actually lead. With LeBron and AD there, that's not really possible. He's going to be the third or fourth most powerful player on the bench. He's still got to figure out how to deal with Jeannie.
Well, and then there's
Jeannie is not an easy win, and she has a different expectation list for this thing that's in play. Plus, you've got all the legends of Los Angeles who live around the program. So,
and my thought process again with his, when he puts together his coaching staff, again, in the way that he hasn't been a head coach before, is maybe get some guys who potentially have some head coaching experience on your coaching staff to help you out. And if you do that, those are potentially two more names that might have more pull with the players than you as the head coach.
Well, because you don't want to be available all the time.
Yeah.
He does not want to be available all the time. So yeah, he's gonna have an operations coach, and then he'll have a management coach. And it'll be two different people who have different accountabilities and different responsibilities. One is to whisper and to remind him, hey, some non-basketball stuff is taking priority. You have to get in line. And then the person that can simply get into the locker room. and say, okay, this is what we're going to do today, or here's what we're thinking, because quite frankly, LeBron and AD already have that, and you were not in power with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll hire some people. It'll be interesting, but yeah, I'm kind of rooting for chaos.
Does he continue his podcast?
No.
No.
No, he's no Doug Gottlieb, I'll tell you that much.
Wow. Or maybe he is.
Oh, no.
TBD.
Oh, we'll see what happens. Thank you, gentlemen, for this JJ Reddick segment. We'll be right back. Listen to the happy hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
The Nebraska Lottery presents 5 reasons the dollar bill is so great. First, it's always there when you need it. You can always find one folded up in your pocket just waiting to get you out of a jam. Second, it's humble. It doesn't strut around like a 50 or 100 waiting for people to compliment it. Third, it works hard. Whether you need more money for a tip or extra detergent at the laundromat, a dollar bill sure comes in handy. Fourth, it beats lugging around 100 pennies. And fifth, you can use it to buy a Lotto America ticket from the Nebraska Lottery. Lotto America only costs $1. It has a $2 million starting jackpot with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And you can add the All-Star bonus for an additional $1 to multiply any prize won. So visit a Nebraska Lottery retailer today and buy a Lotto America ticket. Sounds like someone tried to pay with 100 pennies. So sad.
Lotto America top prize odds, 1 in 26 million.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and Air Park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
A gorilla bear versus polar bear.
A what bear versus a what bear?
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
A gorilla bear versus a polar bear.
One more time.
Gorilla versus a polar bear.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Getting done with the first hour of the happy hour. Yeah, I said the first hour. 2 hours today. 2-hour happy hour. Austin Norman joining me live from Haymarket Park for BP with DP. That'll be taking place today. You guys can get yourselves down there. Watch the Salt Dogs play some baseball. Watch the guys take some hacks. Austin Norman. What would have happened if you were getting in that box, huh?
In a live game or just for BP?
Give me both.
In a live game, I would do a very great job of holding down that dirt. Let me tell you. That dirt would not go anywhere. It is remaining firmly in place.
Okay.
As is the bat, most likely. The fastest pitch I think I ever saw in my life was probably 87. I did not see 87 that would start a foot off the plate and break back to the middle. So it probably would not go well. There's a chance I could drop down a bunt. I was known for that back in my day. I would hope I still have that skill in my toolbox, but I don't know. BP though, if it's just BP, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna put on a laser show or anything, but last year, my first time out here, first time in the box, hadn't swung a bat since competitively. Hadn't swung a bat even semi-competitively since, I'm trying to think. We would have done the gender reveal for my kid, but that doesn't really count as a competitive swing.
Hey, you hit that one. That one was eye level.
It was. There's a funny story there that we can get into later, but slow pitch softball 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years now. And then my last actual baseball swing would have been the last year of my Legion career, back after my freshman year of college, because I was a Legion baby. I had that extra year available to me. It didn't go poorly.
Okay.
It didn't go great. I took, I don't know, probably 15, 20 swings, I want to say. Last swing of the day was a beaut. It was a solid base knock. Cleared the screen. It was a line drive. I didn't flare it, didn't get jammed. I actually squared it up. And I felt right. I know it felt right because I didn't really feel anything. You watch it all the way in, you watch it go out, like, oh, I actually squared that one up pretty well.
What do you know?
I don't have the natural strength of a strick, and I was never, built to be a power hitter necessarily. So what I came to learn about myself last year is that any power, any opposite field ability to drive the ball that I had was due completely to the fact that I was swinging a piece of metal instead of a piece of wood.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would not be able to look. All my hits are going into the ground. I don't know. I'm not. I never really swung a bat competitively outside of slow pitch softball 1 year. So and even then, it was a lot of grounders that I'd beat the throw to first. I was just ready. It was when I was in college. I was in peak physical condition. I was
Your
very
track
fast.
coach let you play?
I was very fast. I don't think the coach. It was in the summertime, and I don't think the coaches cared, but I don't think they wanted us to, but we still did. But I hit one time. I hit a line drive that got out of the infield, and I was very proud of myself.
You should be. I'm proud of you in retrospect. There's just something about. I will say the other part that was very nice is that whoever it was throwing BP, I don't remember the name or who it was, asked how I wanted it thrown and where I wanted it thrown.
Oh.
And I just said, just throw it, right? Like fast, but not like too fast. Yeah. Not too slow, because I know I'm going to have trouble waiting. And really, I just wanted to see what I still had in the tank, right? I'm not going to ask him to throw it up and in my nitro zone, because I know I'm not going to drive anything. And I don't want to go just opposite field, because I figured I was going to be early, a little amped up on adrenaline. And just that, this, Rico, I think pretty much every guy that gets to relive the glory days feels this. You can talk yourself through it logically, but once you actually get there, you're going to try to do something cooler
100%.
than you think you should do.
Yep.
So knowing that about myself, I just said, just throw it, right? I'll see what I still got in the tank, and I'll figure it out. Notorious B.I.B., I truly appreciate the confidence, but let me just tell you, my friend, it is misplaced and misguided. I was never a pull power guy. The wind's blowing out to left as I see it today from Suite 316.
Okay.
Have a great view right in line of first base to second base. So absolutely gorgeous seats and view for the game tonight. I was a gap-to-gap guy, right? I wasn't pull power down the line. I didn't have the natural strength to go oppo all the time. I was a solid line drives, doubles to the gap sort of thing. I hit one ball off the wall my Legion baby year, and then I short hopped like a 400-foot fence at Omaha South.
Okay.
1 year for an inside the Parker. But
oh, look at the wheels.
I know your boy could run a little bit. I just don't have that natural power. And as I've come to find out, my bat speed also wasn't as good as I thought it was. I was a put it in play, hope for the best sort of guy, which is why to, go back a few years, if I were going to have played college baseball, maybe, my bat speed improves if I'm actually, practicing every day. But at anything, higher than like the D3 NAIA level, I would have essentially been Mojo Hagee. That's, I think, the comp for me as a player.
Defensive mastermind.
Defensive mastermind. You can put me on. I can steal a base. I'm a pretty heady base runner. And for the level I played at, I was pretty good. I put up some pretty good numbers based on what I was doing, and seeing some of the other guys that I played with and against that went to college. I think I could have hacked it if I would have kept going. But that's in the past. I don't regret anything of the way it worked out. And every chance I get to step in the box and swing, I'm going to take advantage of.
Take advantage of that. Ask Stricky when he does show up if he's going to hit one out of the park. He always says he's going to. He has yet to out of 2 years.
He's not going to.
He's not going to. He cranked one to the wall, not the one to the wall. Like it hit the wall 2 years ago. Last year, I don't remember. I think he was just spraying them all over the park. Didn't hit any home runs. I don't think he might have gotten close to the warning track.
No. The furthest one that Stricky hit last year was about 240 feet.
Okay. You remember?
I remember because it was down the right field line. He got under it a little bit, but I also don't think he squared it up that much. He was taking it easy for his first half of the round. Then the second half, he really turned it up, tried to crank one, and he was over swinging out of his shoes. It wasn't going to work out for him like that.
I'm just sad that for some reason I don't remember Nick taking any swings over the last 2 years. I think he might have 2 years ago. Did he do it last year?
Just a few, not many, but just a few, as I remember.
I need to get the swinging coach, the batting coach in there, see what he can do. He's talking about he was trying to help me with my swing, and I was like, if you could fix my swing, you can help anybody. I tell you what, man. But we'll see. I don't know if Austin's going to get in the box. It'd be okay if he doesn't. It'd be interesting if he did. Stricky's definitely going to get in the box, and we'll see what happens there. But that's going to do it for the first hour. Yes, again, I said it, the first hour of the happy hour. Austin joining me live from Haymarket Park. I'm here at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street, just right here on the corner of 11th and O. Come in here, get yourself some milk coffee, get yourself a t-shirt, 93.7 The Ticket t-shirt. We've got some Husker gear as well. Come on in here, say hi to me. I think DP's still here. We'll talk to you a little bit during the break or something like that. But Austin, out at Haymarket Park, BP with DP happening. Second hour of the happy hour coming up next, 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Nebraska Lottery presents 5 reasons the dollar bill is so great. First, it's always there when you need it. You can always find one folded up in your pocket, just waiting to get you out of a jam. Second, it's humble. It doesn't strut around like a 50 or 100 waiting for people to compliment it. Third, it works hard. Whether you need more money for a tip or extra detergent at the laundromat, a dollar bill sure comes in handy. Fourth, it beats lugging around 100 pennies. And fifth, you can use it to buy a Lotto America ticket from the Nebraska Lottery. Lotto America only costs $1. It has a $2 million starting jackpot with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And you can add the All-Star bonus for an additional $1 to multiply any prize won. So visit a Nebraska Lottery retailer today and buy a Lotto America ticket. Sounds like someone tried to pay with 100 pennies. So sad.
Lotto America top prize odds, 1 in 26 million.
Sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Husker fan, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies. It will be hot, so acting high around 93. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy, with the low around 76. And tomorrow, a slight chance of storms in the afternoon, otherwise mainly sunny, with the high around 93. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clark from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
When you look at Nebraska baseball, a 40-win season, best pitching in the Big Ten, above average offense for the Big Ten. You go to regionals, far and away the best pitching staff, but a good half a run below even the third worst offense in that regional. When you look at Nebraska baseball, is that a program that needs to improve the pitching first or the lineup first to be able to make more of a dent in the postseason?
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary. C is for chunk. Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. This is the Happy Hour. If you're wondering, hey, seems like they've been on for a little bit. We had. Second hour of the Happy Hour started at noon. We're going to 2. No, Nick. He deserted me. I'm so sad. I don't care. Nick's gone. He's having fun. Austin Norman joining me live from Haymarket Park. Austin, how are you, good sir?
Rico, I am great. I am out here at Haymarket. It is a beautiful day for a baseball game. The field looks immaculate. They're starting the sprinklers. They're wetting the warning track in foul territory right now. There's also someone doing what appears to be yoga or a body weight sort of routine. He might have a little dumbbell in his hand as well. It is a fantastic day out at Haymarket Park. It was nice to be in the studio for one day at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good. You just decided you wanted to be out and about this week. You didn't want to be stuck in one place, so you're out and about doing your thing. And you know what? It is appreciated. It is appreciated. Thank you for going out there, setting up. You set up for the first time by yourself like a big boy, and I am impressed. Great job, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you. I wasn't too stressed about it. I mean, I've been around long enough that I thought I would be able to handle it, but it's one of those things. I mean, this as a parent, you never know until you know.
Yep.
For sure, right? I mean, you can feel pretty good about it. You can have your confidence, you can have your trepidation, whatever it is. But hey, we're rolling, we're chilling. I think we're doing fine.
All right, I will let you know. You might need to close out and reopen your stream there on the laptop. It was having a little difficulties. There we go. We got you back. There's your beautiful face. That's all we needed. So Austin, again, okay. So this is the happy hour sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting. We would like all of you to join in on the conversations that we are having. 402-464-5685 Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line, and leave us a comment if you would like to. Facebook, YouTube, X/Twitter. Allo Channel 961, and you can listen to this afterwards wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you get them. That includes Amazon podcasts. Go ahead and do that if you would like to. I appreciate it. You are appreciated. Austin, something I talked about when I was running solo for the first, half an hour of the show. The Nebraska Cornhuskers added to their quarterback room with a quarterback by the name of Jalen Gramstad. Now, Jalen Gramstad was the quarterback for, I believe it's Northwestern College in Iowa. And something I found out today when looking through his statistics, don't know if you knew this, Jalen Gramstad, for the first 2 years of his career at Northwestern College, was on the defensive side of the ball.
Hello. I like that. I like that, though. Make the late career transition to quarterback. Usually think about it going the other way. Right, your Terrell Pryors, your Taysom Hills, guys like that. Shoot, even like a Ryan Tannehill going from wide receiver to quarterback. Your boy Julian Edelman from quarterback to wide receiver. You think about guys that make the transition from quarterback to another position. But I love that so much, going from defense to offense, because so much of learning to be a quarterback is not just knowing your team's plays and scheme. It's knowing how the defense wants to defend you, how the defense wants to attack you in some situations as well. So for a guy to come from the defensive side of the ball, thinking through how do we stop an offense, that's a huge feather in the cap, and I would think a leg up mentally for a guy like Jalen Gramstad on his competition, having that defensive background.
I was extremely confused when going through his statistics because I scrolled down and I went down to interceptions, and it had like 3 or 2, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. Like, why does it say interception return yards? Like, why would it say like, oh, this is how far his interception was returned? Kept scrolling down, saw tackles, and I was like, what is going on here? First 2 years, 2020 and 2021, when he was at Northwestern College, he played on the defensive side of the ball. My guess is probably at the safety position, one of those spots. In 2020, which was the COVID year, he finished the season with 31 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 3 pass deflections, and a fumble recovery. His second year, 2021, 36 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 10 pass deflections, and a fumble recovery.
That's pretty good.
And
hopefully
go ahead.
I would say hopefully he doesn't give that many away at the quarterback position, because his numbers as a quarterback were pretty solid in terms of turnover prevention. So it seems like he made the switch pretty well.
Yes. Then he switches over to the offensive side of the ball, and they're like, "Go be our quarterback now." For 2 years, he was the quarterback, and in his sophomore year, I guess we'll say, since COVID didn't count, even though he played that season, COVID didn't count, so he was a freshman in 2021. So his sophomore year, he throws the ball for 176 completions, 2,511 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. And then this last year, when he was the NAIA Player of the Year for Northwestern College, 259 completions at a 68% completion percentage, 3,681 yards, 35 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions.
That's pretty baller.
And
that is a pretty good stat line for a guy just making the switch to quarterback.
And on top of that, hey, guess what? Since he played defense, he can run. had 1,000 yards rushing his sophomore year, and had 772 yards rushing on top of his 3,000 plus yards passing. Oh, and he had 8 touchdowns rushing his that year that he threw for 3,000. 23 touchdowns rushing, according to these statistics, that sophomore year for him when he was first starting at quarterback.
That tells me there's a lot of growth going on, right? Not just in the position switch, but to go from, a good enough passer, a solid passer the first year. But I mean, 1,000 yards and what do you say? Was it 23 rushing touchdowns?
23 touchdowns in 2022.
That's crazy. I mean, that tells me that he had some work to do as a passer, that they liked his legs, his dynamic ability with running the ball more than they were confident in him throwing it. So for him to take the leap in his second year playing quarterback from an okay, average, maybe slightly good passer and a really good runner to a guy who can legitimately throw the ball, that they trust to throw it, that often to get over 3,000 yards, to limit turnovers the way he did with his arm as well, tells me that the learning curve for this guy might not even be a curve. It really might just be, exponential growth to some degree, because that's an incredibly impressive transition to make. Even if he had played, high school quarterback or whatever, going from playing high school quarterback potentially to playing defense, no matter the level in college, back to quarterback, to be able to pick it up that quickly, pick up the nuances, learn the scheme, get used to the speed difference at a new position, and not be absolutely swimming in it, overwhelmed mentally. That's incredibly impressive.
So going back to so he had 3,000 plus yards as a sophomore, rushing and passing combined, and then 4,000 plus as a junior. 3,000 of those came in the air. 3,000 plus of those came in the air. So he was just lighting it up at the quarterback position. When he was in high school, he played 3 years for West Lyon High School. Accounted for 2,400 yards and 30 touchdowns in leading his team to the Class 1A state championship. Threw for over 1,519 scores, rushed for 908 and 11, averaging 8 yards per carry. And oh, by the way, he would get the ball back for himself, as he was second in Class 1A in Iowa with 6 interceptions at safety.
That's incredible. we love I assume 1A is pretty small, right?
I'm not 100% on there, but I mean, if your quarterback is also playing safety, I would assume it is.
At West Lyon Community School, yeah, I'm going to guess it's a smaller school. I forget how Iowa does their classification. So if I'm wrong, text line, please, never let me hear the end of it. But to go from a probably small town legend, right? Lead your town, your school to the brink of a title, lead them to the championship game, playing both ways just because you have to, because of numbers. Going to college, focusing on one, being able to focus your energy onto one side of the ball. Sounds like he was a pretty solid DB, all things considered. But then when your team needs you to step up, or you get a wild hair and you want to try quarterbacking again, to hop back into it and make it look that seamless and that natural, that speaks volumes about who Jalen Gramstad is, not just as, an athlete, but as a person, as a learner, what his mental, cognitive abilities are as well.
So 1A is in Iowa, 4A is the largest, 1A is the smallest. So he was at one of the smaller schools, but still, to rack up all of those yards, to rack up those numbers, go to an NAIA school. And like you just said, he played quarterback and safety. They bring him in. I don't know what they brought him in, probably as an athlete. Start him at safety. He's getting, 30 tackles in his first 2 years. And then to make the switch to quarterback, which, again, I don't know if they were working him at quarterback and safety in those practices those first 2 years. But to go from safety to quarterback and do what he did is extremely impressive. And you're right, the learning curve may be just exponential growth. And hopefully it leads to, his growth and his learning of the offensive playbook for Nebraska, because look, they're not going to put him at safety. I mean, they have the option of putting him at safety, obviously. So, you have that kind of in your back pocket, just a guy who could do both things. But in that quarterback room, to have that experience and to have that arm talent, and oh, by the way, he can run as well. But coming in at 6 foot 180, at least that's what he's listed as. Probably not going to run him the same way that you did with your quarterback last year, Heinrich Harburg. But to have that ability in your back pocket to run him as much as he did run, or run him as much as you want to, with the way that you ran the option last year, there's always that possibility. But again, throws for 3,000 plus yards. I mean, kid's got a cannon, right?
Well,
maybe not a cannon, but 68%, he's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, might have a rifle.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Cannon's the big arm that, big and powerful. It seems like he's accurate. He's a good decision maker, which goes a long way. I'm trying to figure out the best sort of comparison for him. The first one I landed on with the running ability was, is he like Kyler Murray? Not the biggest guy, operating mostly out of the shotgun, a good enough arm to make most of the throws with dual threat ability. Is he going to be maybe like a Joe Gans, maybe, where you're going to focus on the arm? It's what people are going to appreciate most about him, but has a little bit of ability to tuck and run if he needs to. I don't know the best comparison for him. What interests me and intrigues me the most, though, Rico, is that Matt Rule said he's going to have every opportunity to compete for the starting job, right? He's not just there as a clipboard holder. And yesterday on Old School, I said to DP&J, I wasn't sold on the addition. I didn't understand exactly why it was necessary. And, I think we felt fine about Nebraska's quarterback room coming into the season, especially long term. But I raised the concern that, hey, he's coming from the NAIA level. That's not exactly high level college football. But J&DP raised the point of, well, the guy that's the presumptive starter is coming from high school, which is an even bigger step up than NAIA would be. So that point was taken well and not lost on me. But again, with the position switch, with being a captain, with being an older guy, I'm getting more and more sold on this addition. Does he make an impact in the room in terms of statistics and on the field? I wouldn't bet a whole lot of money on it. But given what Nebraska's backup quarterback situation, has been over the last handful of years, getting a guy that's proven at any sort of level is a step up. Getting a guy that's seen some college football that can talk a young room through, what he's seeing, can answer their questions and, just be a sounding board for him. I'm liking the addition more and more.
Now, I talked about that a little bit in that first segment where the addition, and I get a lot of pushback for this. Especially, it was a couple weeks ago. I got a lot of pushback for this. He's the presumptive starter, Dylan Raiola is, right? But I'm not going to go into this saying that Nebraska has their starting quarterback already in Dylan Raiola until, and this is the caveat, until the coaching staff tells us that that's the starter. Until they come out and say, this is our starting quarterback, I still say there's a competition in the room. And with Matt Rule saying he's going to have, Jalen Gramstad is going to have every opportunity to compete for the starting job, I mean, that just opens it up even more for me. Yes, I mean, what do I think 95% of me is convinced that Raiola is going to be the starter, but he's coming from high school. Gramstad's coming from NAIA. He's coming from playing in college for 4 years already, 2 on the defensive end, 2 at the quarterbacks, not defensive end, 2 on the defensive side, 2 on the offensive side of the ball. But it's one of those things where even if Gramstad doesn't end up being the starter, I love this addition in terms of experience and more depth in the quarterback room, because as I said before, if Lord forbid anything happens to any of these quarterbacks, you have 2 true freshmen, a redshirt junior who you're not really high on throwing the ball in an offense that you want to run the ball with your running backs and throw the ball with your quarterback, a guy who you're not very high on throwing the ball. Yes, he's made improvements, whatever, and then a couple of walk-ons. It wasn't the deepest quarterback room in terms of experience, obviously, and in terms of proven talent. So adding somebody who, again, at a lower level, but has done it at the collegiate level, makes me a little more confident, feel a little better about the quarterback room. But having Rule say that he has, all the chances in the world to compete for the starting job, does that, and I'll ask the listeners, does that worry you if Gramstad, if game 1 comes, Gramstad's number 1, Raiola's number 2? How worried are you as a fan about the future of Nebraska's quarterback room?
I don't know if worried would be the word I would use. I know where you're coming from with it, but man, it just seems like all the signs are pointing to Dylan Raiola. And I don't think it's just the hype. I mean, I watched the spring game with my own two eyes. He looked the best, the most confident, the most polished of any quarterback in that room. I think Heinrich Harburg would get the nod over Gramstad because the staff has already had him for a year, and they seem to, at least be okay with the development trajectory that he's on. Gramstad might be a better pure quarterback than Heinrich Harburg. He might get sped up at the D1 level, and Harburg's at least been there for a year before. So if there is a starter not named Dylan Raiola, my guess is that it's Heinrich Harburg. Really, the only way Jalen Gramstad starts to me is if Raiola just falls apart in fall camp and Heinrich Harburg, is injured or has, officially switched positions. And I, probably going to have to be a non-contact injury if anything happens to Dylan, because I think the staff understands the importance of having him obviously on the field, but also what he means for the program off the field, big picture, visibility sense. So they're going to be ultra conservative with him, make sure no one gets close to him. And it seems like they are okay with Heinrich Harburg in the quarterback room. They've already put some developmental time into him at that position. They've said they've seen growth in him, that he's gotten better. I saw a lot of reversion to old habits from Heinrich Harburg under pressure in the spring game. Not that there was a lot of pressure, but the few times there were, it looked like same old Heinrich Harburg to me. And Daniel Kalen, I don't want to, say he looked horrible in the spring game. He just looked like a freshman. Yeah. I didn't see anything that discouraged me about him. He just looked like a guy, playing in front of 60,000 for the first time with guys he maybe hasn't thrown to all that much. And, I think he made a fair number of the right throws, but just misfired a little bit, right? A little high, a little outside, and all of that is correctable. So having not seen Jalen Gramstad in the spring game, I would put him third in the pecking order right now when he gets to campus. I mean, Kalen is a, darn near for sure redshirt guy, in case of emergency. I still think it's Raiola number one, Harburg number two with the experience and familiarity. And then Gramstad is that third option.
I think Gramstad's addition was to make sure that they were able to redshirt Daniel Kalen again, in case anything happens. And again, I'm not saying that we had a text right here like, stop, the only quarterback competition is for backup. Again, I'm not saying that Raiola is not going to be the starter, but I am saying until the coaching staff tells me 100% without fail that he is the starting quarterback game one, there is in my mind, it doesn't have to be in y'all's minds, in my mind, still a quote unquote quarterback competition going on for starting quarterback.
I can see where you're coming from, and I appreciate you keeping an open mind. I'm just going off of what my eyes have shown me. But again, I don't think this has been brought up. You look at the first two, elite lists that Nebraska's put out. Hey, guess what? No Dylan Raiola on that list. So if you want to spark a little controversy, that's some ammo for you there.
You mean to tell me the 5-star isn't elite? I don't know.
I'm telling you that the 5-star might have some work to do.
I'm just saying.
To work on, some things to learn. I'm not concerned about it at this point. Again, my eyes told me one thing. Understanding the game within the game of college football, you watch it long enough, you kind of learn to read the tea leaves. If anything, I would say it's probably I'm 55 to 60% confident it's Dylan right now. And the rest of that percentage is Harburg unless something goes, just off the rails.
Oh, so I'm even higher of a percent. See, I'm just not saying it, but I'm 95% sure it's going to be Dylan. I'm just saying that it's still an open competition until the coaches tell us otherwise. And that's just my thought process, and it's totally fine. And you know what? You know what's good about that thought process is if it does happen, I don't have to raise a stink and say, how dare they? Why aren't they starting the 5-star? Because I'm sitting here like, yeah, it could happen. You never know. Crazy things can happen. Just because he's a 5-star, just because he was the second best quarterback, first best quarterback in the class, doesn't automatically mean he gets the starting nod. What if there's still some things he needs to work on? I saw the spring game too, and he looked amazing. But hey, I'm not in practice. I don't know.
Same.
I'm just saying, everybody. I'm just saying. Don't count your chickens don't count your 5-stars before they hatch. That's just a thing there. When we come back, I had a list. I can't remember exactly what I told you we were going to talk about when we come back. But we're going to keep talking sports. I know that. I can tell you guys that much for sure. You know what? Let me not leave y'all in the dark. Let me give you a quick little tease of what we're going to talk about. When we come back, because I did let Austin know, there was an extension. More coaches getting some more money. Somebody's going to be staying at a certain SEC school for a little bit longer, and they got some more money. When we come back, we'll tell you who that is, and we'll give you our thoughts on that team specifically and their time in the SEC. So this is a happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bureau's cheese spread?
We have a winner. Bureau's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln. Always honest answers.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados, plus Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville, $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Play ball!
Ready to unleash the fun with Salt Dogs Baseball? Join us at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed games running through August. Stay ahead of the game by visiting saltdogs.com for updates on exciting promotions, giveaways, and events happening each week. Experience a change-up from your typical family night, or make it a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers.
Strike three, you're out!
Don't miss the fun happening all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker Football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker Football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary. What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? Huh?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The SEC is adding 2 more teams to their conference next season. The Texas Longhorns and Steve Sarkisian, and the Oklahoma Sooners and Brent Venables on the football side of things. One of those coaches just got an extension. One of those coaches has been in the college football playoff. They are not the same coach. Brent Venables gets a 6-year extension and a lot more money from the Oklahoma Sooners as they prepare to make their entrance into the SEC next year. Austin, Brent Venables with a 6-7 record 2 years ago in his first year as a head coach for the Sooners. 10-3 last year, losing in the Alamo Bowl, I believe. Much bigger improvement. Good season for Oklahoma. Lose their quarterback, however, as he goes to Oregon. What are your thoughts on the extension for Coach Venables and the Sooners?
I would not have handed that one out myself. But I am also no Joe Castiglione. So I don't want to knock him for giving an extension to a guy he believes in, right? He made the hire, and because of that, he's going to believe in his guy. He's got to believe in his guy. He's got to have some sense of conviction that he hired the right guy. But man, Brent Venables, what do you say, 16-9? 16-10 his first 2 years.
Okay, hold on. I got to get this right because so that's the conference. Okay, 6 and 7, 6 and 7, then 10-3. Yeah. So
16-10 at Oklahoma, worthy of an extension. That one I can't say I understand. It doesn't make sense to me because he had some time left on his contract, and it's not like it was all that sought after to begin with. You know, it's not like other teams were sniffing around trying to poach him. Mm-hmm. So to give him a 6-year extension, I mean, okay, 2, 3, maybe 4, that's in the realm of normal, but a 6-year extension after just 2 years on the job, and maybe the raise I'm less concerned about, because it might be a non-guaranteed raise. It might be non-guaranteed money. It might be, bonus pool of money that he might get, he might not. But was Oklahoma really in a position that they needed to do this? Were they getting intel that said other teams were coming after Brent Venables? Were they that impressed with what he's doing in the locker room or off the field that they felt the need to give it to him? It doesn't make sense to me from that standpoint. And where the raise also comes into question is that, starting really at any point here after the case is decided, Oklahoma might be on the hook for $20 million to student athletes that every university will be on the hook for in the new name, image, and likeness, paying athletes era. So not only did Oklahoma go out and extend a guy with mediocre results, they told him more money is available to him in a day and age that every school is going to be looking for more money to go to not the coach, to go to the coach's players. I can't say I fully understand the rationale behind this deal from the Oklahoma side of things.
I agree with you. I understand that Venables, for his time at Clemson, was sought after year after year after year, was one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid, defensive coordinator, assistant coach in the country during his time at Clemson, and would turn down head coaching jobs left and right after the season ended until finally the right one came open, which apparently was Oklahoma. He accepted it because it was a place that he had coached before, following Lincoln Riley's departure to USC. But it's been not the smoothest ride. Yes, I understand they were 10-3 last year, but 10-3 with the talent that they did have, and again, the loss in the bowl game seemed like not a failure of a season, but not a successful season either. And I know we're talking about 10 wins and it not being successful and whatnot, but
let me throw this out here. Brent Venables is the third Oklahoma coach since 1933 to lose to both Oklahoma State and Kansas in the same year. Okay, so those were the two regular season losses. The wins, trying to go back to week 1. All right, Arkansas State, meh. SMU, they beat 28-11 in what was a top 25 matchup at the time. They blitzed Tulsa, beat a bad Cincinnati by 2 touchdowns, steamroll Iowa State at home. They do beat Texas, right, in Red River with a bit of a comeback there. So that's impressive. That was a top 5 Texas team at the time. They escape UCF at home, not a vintage UCF team. Go on the road and lose to Kansas by 5. Lose by a field goal to Oklahoma State on the road in the last edition of Bedlam before Oklahoma dips to the SEC. Blowout West Virginia. Go on the road, beat BYU by a touchdown. Blitz TCU, and then look like doo-doo for most of the first half against Arizona. In a 2 touchdown loss that probably wasn't that close. So it was a fine 10-2 year, not an overwhelming 10-2 year. But again, the third coach since 1933 to lose to Oklahoma State and Kansas in the same season. The other 2 happened in the middle of Nebraska's dynasty. 1995, Howard Schnellenberger left college football. He was done after that for at least a little while. And then John Blake, who I believe he passed away not too long ago. He got fired a year later and then was out of football for 5 years. So when those guys lose to Oklahoma State and Kansas, they're essentially done with football for a minute.
Yeah.
Brent Venables gets an extension and a raise. Castiglione must be absolutely sold on Brent Venables being the guy with the right temperament and right leadership to lead Oklahoma into this SEC era. But it seems like the extension and the raise are bringing up a lot more questions than I think they answered.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary. He had years left on his contract. You could have let it play out and given him a raise or added some stipulations to his contract for the first year in the SEC. But you could see it as we trust this guy, even though we're going to a new conference. Let's make sure we have him for the long haul. But kind of like you said, I haven't heard his name popping up in conversations about leaving for another head coaching job. Considering you're at Oklahoma and you're going to the SEC, I don't think there are many other teams who would be able to, A, poach you away, or B, have the cachet to even attempt to throw their name in the ring to take you away from Oklahoma in the SEC. Now, if you look at the schedule for next year for Oklahoma, you just ran through the Big 12 schedule, right? And it not a lot of heavy hitters, right? I mean, you lost to Kansas and Oklahoma State. You beat Texas, who's joining you in the SEC. Yeah, sure, whatever. Not a lot of heavy hitters in that lineup. You went 10-2 in the regular season. This first SEC schedule, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than that Big 12 schedule. You open the season with Temple and then Houston, right? So you get an old Big 12 foe. You get a new old Big 12 foe.
An
in
old
Houston.
Southwest Conference foe.
Yeah, Temple and Houston. All right, whatever. And then you get Tulane. All right, cool. Tulane here or there,
We'll
great
see.
uniforms.
We'll
We'll see
see
what happens with them. They lost Willie Fritz, their head coach. So
To Houston.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, they get to play Willie Fritz kind of twice.
No
It's
matter
whatever.
what.
Then here we go. We start SEC play, and it's not going to start easy. As you welcome in Tennessee to Norman. You welcome Tennessee, then you travel to Auburn, then you get your Red River rivalry. Red
after a bye.
River rivalry after a bye. Can't say that 5 times fast. Then you welcome South Carolina, who, not a pushover, but still, it's an SEC school. We'll see what happens there. Lane Kiffin, baby. You got to travel to Ole Miss. And then you get your SEC bye game in Maine because you're in the SEC and it's necessary. And then Missouri. Not a pushover anymore. Old Big 12 foe. Not a pushover Missouri is anymore. They've been in the SEC for a while. They've adapted. They've been able to get SEC talent. And Eli Drinkwitz is doing a fantastic job for the Tigers down there. At least last year he did. And then Alabama and LSU to end the season. At LSU, mind you, which could potentially be a night game in Death Valley.
Yeah, the 2023 and 2024 schedules are not the same. As you were going through that, I had Oklahoma in the probably 6. You can talk me into 7. 8 seems like a ceiling to me. Tennessee's going to beat them, even on the road. Auburn, we'll see.
Auburn will be tough.
Auburn plays well against teams that wear Oklahoma colors, typically.
Yeah.
Texas is going to beat them. Ole Miss is going to beat them. Bama's going to beat them. I think LSU is going to be better in Oklahoma next year. I was not in love with what I saw from Jackson Arnold in the bowl game. And again, I know it's just a bowl game. Got to take it with a grain of salt. But I'd much rather be Miller Moss at USC, have him as my presumptive starter than Jackson Arnold right now, even with just one data point. If that's reactionary, okay, so be it. That's just where I'm at with it. Missouri is a fascinating matchup with Oklahoma because we know the Sooners, despite Brent Venables' identity as a defensive guy, are still that team that's based on offense. I don't think they've fully, made that shift from offense first to defense first yet. Whereas that's what Missouri is. One of the best rushing teams, one of the best rushing attacks in college football last year. Really solid defense that held down an explosive Ohio State offense in the Cotton Bowl last year. Missouri's got a lot to prove. They've been getting a little better until they got a lot better last year under Coach Drinkwitz. I love that game is in Como. I'm glad to see Oklahoma have to go on the road for that one. I still probably lean Oklahoma right now just because I'm not sold on Missouri. But, man, if Missouri's legit, that's another one you can mark down in the L column for Oklahoma.
I think I'm sold on this Missouri matchup just on the legs of you're going to go into a bye. Well, okay, so you're playing Maine and then you're traveling to Missouri and then you have a bye week and then Alabama. And I think I'm leaning with Missouri on that one just because they're used to the grind of an SEC schedule and not having to play, up and down football in the Big 12 like Oklahoma's been doing for quite some time. And with coming off of the bye game against Maine, maybe they'll get their spirits up, but also still be looking forward to, okay, we have a bye week. We're going to spend 2 weeks preparing for Alabama, maybe thinking, okay, it's an old Big 12 foe. We've handled Missouri before. So I think there's a lot going against Oklahoma in that Missouri matchup. And again, I like you said, I like what Eli Drinkwitz is doing down there in Columbia. So it'll be this first year in the SEC for Oklahoma is going to Texas finishes with a better record than Oklahoma in the first year in the SEC. I think Texas has more than enough talent and has the SEC talent necessary to survive the SEC this first season. Oklahoma, I think, is still going to be building toward that point, wanting to be a defensive first team, but having to, and I understand that Venables has that experience of preparing his defense for SEC teams, being at Clemson and facing Alabama multiple times, but that was for one game. Now you've got to do it for an entire season in the SEC. We'll see where your offense and your defense fall in this tough conference.
Well, yeah, Texas is a national championship contender, and Oklahoma is an Alamo Bowl contender. Again, that's really the difference between these two schools. Texas is legit. Texas is loaded again. To me, two of the best teams in the country are going to be at the top of the Big Ten, and Ohio State and Oregon. And then it's Georgia and Texas. I mean, it's going to be hard to make that top four in the playoff field happen, but those might be, for my money, the four most talented and complete teams in the country. Oklahoma, if it sniffs a playoff berth, they would have exceeded my expectations. I don't think they're top 15 good. Maybe top 20 if Arnold really comes along and the defense gets a little nasty, but I think Oklahoma is going to be fighting for the top 25 this year.
If Oklahoma is sniffing a playoff berth, the extension came a year too early.
Yes, correct.
All right, man. That's going to do it. Crossover. I don't know if Strick has made it down to you yet, but we're going to hit our crossover, the Chris crossover, coming up next. Happy Hour on the Block crossing over. You'll listen to 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Keep summer green with Judson Bylene and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Power Combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Is it time to replace your AC? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies, and it will be hot. It's an afternoon high around 93. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly cloudy, with a low around 76. And tomorrow, a slight chance of storms in the afternoon, otherwise mainly sunny, with the high around 93. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Look at him and tell me there's a God.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hola, welcome back. Final segment, Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. Have we been lied to all these years, Austin Orman?
Probably. Without knowing where it is you're going with this, I will say yes, probably, but I would also ask you to please explain.
The year is 1988. A young man playing in a red jersey, sometimes a white jersey, with a certain animal name across the chest, a number in the 20s, also on the jersey, goes out and does amazing things, leading to him winning an award for the opposite of offense, Player of the Year. But have the statistics from that 1988 season been grossly imagined, grossly inflated? Michael Jordan, the GOAT, his airness, Air Jordan, wins Defensive Player of the Year in 1988 with all of the steals he racked up, the amazing defense he produced for the Chicago Bulls. Now, it seems, those statistics, those steals were inflated, were boosted when he played his games at home in Chicago as opposed to the same statistics on the road in that 1988 season. Have we been lied to? Was Michael Jordan, although he is a great defender, was a great defender, not that great of a defender in the exact year of 1988?
You would have to go back and pick the brains of everyone who voted for the award, because I know in a lot of cases, some of these awards are, just kind of passed off to someone else. Oh, who had the most stocks, as they're called, steals and blocks combined. And especially back in 88, not exactly the pinnacle days of analytics in the game of basketball, right? So you combine reputation, which at that point, Michael Jordan, clearly had a reputation of being a solid defender at the very least. And then you add on the number of steals and blocks that he had as a guard forward hybrid. I'm relatively confident, pretty darn confident, that a good chunk of the people that voted for him because of those numbers. I'm sure plenty of them saw him play at least once that season and saw him put on, enough of a good show defensively. I'm sure there, plenty of writers that saw him 41 times, covering him, in the 41 home games for the Bulls and whatever else in the playoffs. Then I'm sure there were some that didn't see a single game of him playing. But guess what? That persists to today. Awards voting is kind of funky. Whether or not they voted for him just because of his steals and blocks numbers doesn't really matter at this point, because I think we know that Michael Jordan was a really good defender. What it matters for is an argument that doesn't matter, right? The GOAT debate. Bron's never got Defensive Player of the Year. MJ's the only guy to win a scoring title and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season, right? And that's been held against LeBron for a long time. We know LeBron's a capable defender, if not an absolute lockdown one. We know MJ probably has the edge in a lot of those categories, but winning Defensive Player of the Year absolutely burnishes Michael Jordan's reputation in the greatest of all time debate.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not debating that Michael Jordan, was or was not a good defender. Very clearly he was. But when we talk about legacy and trying to determine who our GOAT is, you hear stats like this come to light, and just how much the books were cooked at home for Michael Jordan either tells you that they really wanted to do him a favor because they thought he needed the help, or there was absolutely no reason to. He would have won it anyways, and now it just looks silly in retrospect.
Would he have won it anyways, though? If we go back and look at the numbers, we look at who finished second. Would Michael Jordan have won Defensive Player of the Year back in 1988 had his stocks not been inflated? It's ridiculous. It's downright blasphemous that Michael Jordan needed his statistics inflated at home. A whopping, 82% higher at home than on the road his stocks were. Steals and blocks combined. Ridiculous. Although
combined 3 on the road and then 5.5 at home, I think is
crazy.
What it was.
Yes, that's crazy. It's a crazy number. There was a game where Michael Jordan had more steals than the opposing team had turnovers. How does that even happen?
That's the one that makes you go,
How do you get a steal without the other team getting a turnover?
Turnover, right. My partner just walked out of the room. He just got here. He's, he's the conspiracy theorist there, except that my partner always points the conspiracies back at LeBron.
Exactly.
Finally, one comes to light that his GOAT, his boy, Michael Jordan, had nothing to do with, but still involves him. So I'm going to see how he responds to that.
Did he have nothing to do with it?
The only way MJ had something to do with it is if he put money on the games, which is a whole other
wait a minute.
debate, right?
Hey,
the only way MJ influences any of this is if he put money on himself to win Defensive Player of the Year, the Bulls to win certain numbers of games, which to this point, we don't know that it happened, and I'm just bringing that up just completely off the cuff. Like, there's no way Michael Jordan wagered on basketball games.
Right.
But is there?
Right.
I mean, the man has his vices like all of us do.
I was going to say the only way he did is if he gave the stat bookkeeper some J's, but I like yours. I like yours better.
Either way, I mean, but if you're Michael Jordan, think it through his perspective. If you are that confident in yourself as a ball player to make up the slights that you did, what's the need to pay someone, right? Aren't you motivated enough to go out there and actually record those steals and blocks yourself? Doesn't paying them to cook the books for you fly in the face of the ethos that you've become known for? I think it really does. It just doesn't make sense to me that Michael Jordan would pay a bookkeeper to inflate his stats. That doesn't fit the Michael Jordan character that we've come to know.
Okay, so I decided to look up the award winners for 1998. Hold on, so that's most valuable. There's rookie of the year. Yeah, 1988. All defensive teams. Hold on, I want defensive player of the year. Not any of this. What is this? Whatever. Well, the all defensive team. So Michael Jordan was a first team, along with Rodney McCray, Michael Cooper, Kevin McHale, and Hakeem Olajuwon. It doesn't. Okay, hold on. There we go. Defensive player of the year. The Hakeem Olajuwon trophy is what it's called now. Mark Eaton finished second. Michael Jordan had 37 first place votes. Mark Eaton came in second with 9.
Dang. That is a gap. That is a gulf.
Mark Eaton had 3.7 blocks. Michael Jordan had 1.6. Michael Jordan had 3.2 steals. Mark Eaton had 0.5. The next closest, which, I mean, this one's pretty solid. Hakeem Olajuwon, 2.1 steals, 2.7 blocks. He finished with 7 votes for Defensive Player of the Year.
Which, again, goes to tell you, and this is, it's interesting to track the arc of NBA basketball and awards votings, because MVP kind of goes through cycles because the game goes through cycles. The guys that win MVP are best suited at playing the style that the league is playing, or they're best suited in playing the opposite of the style, bucking the trend, doing something different, doing it so overwhelmingly well.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive Player of the Year is similar, right? There for a while, there were some guards that won it, but recently it's been big men. You know, you look at your Go Bears, you look at your Draymonds, who, yes, does qualify as a big man for the purposes of this conversation. Right now, the type of defense that is valued most in the NBA is paint protection. Prevent shots at the rim because they're the most efficient shots in basketball. I wonder if in the next 5, 10, 15 years, the numbers will always tell us that paint protection is probably the most valuable form of defense, just because, again, if you can block a shot and prevent a layup, that's, you know, the objective in basketball. But with the way the game is being played on the perimeter now, yes, you drive to score because it's efficient, but you also drive to pass and get kickouts. So I wonder if we don't start to see more guards in contention for this. If Herb Jones, for example, becomes a legit Defensive Player of the Year candidate because of what he does on the perimeter in preventing, you know, perimeter-oriented players getting paint touches to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's the problem is with awards like this. It's mostly a lot of the time it's just looking at the statistics. How many steals did this person get? How many blocks did this person get? And it's not looking at, okay, something that you can't, you know, statistically keep track of is this person is on the best player for every team. And I guess you could look at, like, what are the average points scored against this person? What's the average field goal percentage against this person? But that doesn't look as sexy as, well, this person has 3 steals a game, or this person has 4 blocks a game. So that's one of those things where it might take some time to catch up. But I agree with you with the focus a lot around perimeter offense. Those perimeter defenders should be getting more love in the Defensive Player of the Year votes and just talk. But, you know, Michael Jordan, maybe 1988 Defensive Player of the Year shouldn't have happened. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Michael Jordan's still the GOAT.
I'm going to get to Roy here. Maybe home teams fudged the stats when Michael came to town, not to get embarrassed. Maybe, but still, you can't fudge it to that degree.
No.
And the evidence pointing against what you're saying, Roy, is that MJ's numbers were in line with what we would expect them to be on the road, right? It's not like they were artificially deflated on the road and artificially inflated at home. The rates of steals and blocks, and then just the overall, you know, counting number, are in line with what we would expect, again, according to this article by Tom Haberstroh. So is it possible? Yes, but I would say there's much more to be gained by cooking the books for someone than against them
someone. It doesn't make
in
much
this
sense.
sort of conversation.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to just be like, he didn't get this many steals because we don't want it to show that we turned the ball over, 20 some times and he had 8 steals. It's like that doesn't really matter. What matters is if he was actually able to do it and put those statistics up there so everybody can see them. But that's neither here nor there. A conspiracy that doesn't need to be a conspiracy, really, but we're going to talk about it because it's fun and it's hilarious, and it's always a fun part to get into the GOAT conversations, especially in the NBA. But Mr. Orman, Austin, what's coming up next on the block? You and your partner, Stricky, who arrived.
There's a lot of interesting stuff on the docket on this Friday, so I hope you're still tuned in to us. We're at a baseball field, obviously, for BP with DP. Last night, we had the Giants and the Cardinals playing down at Rickwood Field. Should all MLB teams play one series a year at a neutral site? And where would some of those best places be? NBA free agency buyers or sellers? And then who are some NBA players eligible for extensions? Would Strick offer them or not? Would you like to be buried in Memorial Stadium? That was proposed in the state legislature. We'll get to that. And then Bryce Williams, Isaac Trotter of 24/7 Sports, did a deep dive into some transfers who came back for a second year at their school. Bryce Williams is on that list. Hunter Salas on that list. We're going to go through a handful of names on his list and see who we think is going to take a big jump and what that would look like.
Buried at Memorial Stadium. That's a little weird. Didn't see that one coming. Thought it was a joke when I saw it. That's going to do it for the happy hour on the block, live from Haymarket BP with DP. Adios! For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate game.